Think back to the year 1970. Do you remember what $100 could buy back then? It could fill an entire grocery cart with the best cuts of meat and fresh produce. It could pay a significant portion of your monthly rent. Back then, $100 felt like real wealth. Now, look at that same $100 bill today. In the year 2025, it barely covers a few bags of basic groceries. It feels lighter, as if the ink has faded and the value has evaporated. You are not imagining this. Your hard-earned money is being systematically devalued while you sleep. Most people believe that rising prices are just a natural part of life. They think it is just the way the world works. But I am here to tell you a different story. This is not an accident or a natural disaster. It is a deliberate design of the modern financial system. You have spent 40 years working hard and playing by the rules. You saved your money and you trusted the banks. But the rules have changed without anyone telling you. Today, we are going to unmask the silent thief that is raiding your retirement account. We will look at the machinery behind the curtain. And most importantly, I will show you how to protect what is yours. To understand why you feel poorer, we must look at where money comes from. When the government or the central bank decides to print more money, it creates a ripple effect. Imagine a giant stone being thrown into a calm pond. The splash happens at the center, where the big players stand. These are the giant banks and the massive corporations. They get to use this new money first, before prices have a chance to rise. They buy up real estate, stocks, and hard assets at yesterday's prices. By the time that money ripples out to you and me, the damage is already done. Prices have already jumped to reflect the new supply of cash. This is known as the Cantillon Effect. It is a fancy name for a very simple and unfair process. It means those closest to the printing press get richer, and those furthest away, like retirees on a fixed income, get squeezed. Every time the currency is debased, your purchasing power is stolen. It is a wealth transfer from your savings account to the pockets of the elite. And the best part for them is that most people never realize it is happening. They just complain about the price of eggs or gas. They do not realize that the price of eggs is not going up. Instead, the value of their dollar is going down. Think of inflation as a hidden tax that you never voted for. If the government wanted to take 10% of your wealth, they would have to pass a law. There would be protests and angry letters to the editor. But with inflation, they can take that 10% without saying a word. They simply print more currency and dilute the value of what you hold. It is the most efficient way for a government to pay off its massive debts. The United States national debt is now over $34 trillion. They can never truly pay that back with honest money, so they choose to inflate the debt away. They pay back their loans with dollars that are worth much less than when they borrowed them. But who pays the ultimate price for this strategy? It is the person who spent 30 years saving for a quiet life. It is the widow who relies on her Social Security check to buy medicine. The system is currently penalizing the very virtues we were taught as children. We were told that being a saver was the responsible thing to do. In a healthy economy, your savings should gain value over time. But in this system, saving cash is a losing game. If you put $10,000 under your mattress today, it will still be $10,000 in 10 years. But that money will only buy half as much as it does now. The bank is not your friend in this environment either. They might offer you a 2% interest rate on your savings. But if the real cost of living is rising by 8%, you are losing 6% every year. You are paying the bank for the privilege of watching your wealth melt away. It is like holding a block of ice while standing in the summer sun. No matter how tight you grip it, it will eventually vanish. So why does the system keep you poor? Because the system needs you to keep working and producing. It needs a steady supply of people who are willing to trade their time for paper currency. If everyone understood the game, no one would hold the paper. The wealthy elite do not save money. They own assets. They own land, they own businesses, and they own gold. They understand that paper money is just a claim on value, not value itself. They want you to hold the paper while they hold the things that are real. This is the great divide in our society today. On one side, you have the currency savers who are getting poorer every day. On the other side, you have the asset owners who are watching their net worth skyrocket. The gap between the rich and the poor is not a fluke. It is a direct result of how our money is managed. As long as you think in terms of dollars, you will stay trapped. You must start thinking in terms of purchasing power. Stop asking how many dollars you have in the bank. Start asking how many months of your lifestyle those dollars can actually buy. When you change your perspective, the path forward becomes clear. You cannot win a rigged game by playing by the outdated rules. You must adapt to the reality of the 21st century. This means moving away from being a mere saver of currency. It means becoming an owner of real value. Real value is something that cannot be printed out of thin air by a politician. It is something that has utility and scarcity. Throughout history, gold has been the ultimate protector of wealth. It has survived every empire and every currency collapse. An ounce of gold bought a fine suit of clothes in ancient Rome. Today, that same ounce of gold still buys a fine suit of clothes. The gold did not change. The paper money around it simply dissolved. Real estate is another pillar of stability. People will always need a place to live and land to grow food. And high-quality businesses will always find a way to provide value and turn a profit. The goal is not to become a high-stakes gambler. The goal is to move your life's work into a safe harbor. You have worked too hard to let a silent thief take it all in the final stretch. It is time to wake up to the reality of the situation. The financial system is not broken. It is working exactly as intended. It is a machine for redistribution, and you are currently on the losing side. But knowledge is the first step toward freedom. Once you see the thief, he can no longer operate in the shadows. You can take steps today to secure your family's future. You can choose to opt out of the paper trap. It starts with education and ends with action. I want you to take a moment and reflect on your own journey. You have seen the world change so much over the decades. You have seen the strength of your community and the value of a hard day's work. Do not let the complexity of the financial world intimidate you. At its core, it is very simple. They are printing and you are paying. The question is, how much longer are you willing to pay? There is a better way to live and a better way to preserve your legacy. We are entering a period of great transition in the global economy. The old certainties are fading away. But for those who are prepared, it is also a time of great opportunity. You have the wisdom that only comes with age. Use that wisdom now to protect your independence. If you could go back and tell your 30-year-old self one thing about money, what would it be? Knowing what you know now about how the system really works, what advice would you give? I would love to read your thoughts in the comments section below. Your experiences are a valuable resource for all of us. We are all in this together, trying to navigate these turbulent waters. Thank you for spending this time with me today. In our next discussion, I will dive deep into the specific assets that have survived every crisis. We will look at the top 5 hard assets for retirees in the year 2025. I will show you exactly how to build a fortress around your savings. Until then, stay vigilant and keep your eyes on the truth. This is a time for resilience and for protecting the people you love. I will see you in the next video. This content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Please consult with a qualified professional before making any major financial decisions.